Good morning, everybody, and welcome to your gentle flow session. My name is Joanna, and I'll be guiding you in today's class. I'm sure you can hear it from my voice. I am experiencing a little bit of paosness. Is that even a word? When I lost my voice yesterday, so it's still getting a little bit better today. So I realized that we're all kind of reeling in from the holidays, and maybe you are also experiencing some cold, some cough, or maybe a little bit under the weather. So we're gonna do something for today that's a little bit more on the recovery aspect of your yoga practice. So nothing too serious that will get ourselves super tired, but something that will help us kind of recover from everything that we are experiencing right now, be it a physical thing or maybe a mental condition or maybe an emotional feeling that we are going through, something that's more on the healing aspect of your yoga practice. Okay? So, with that, let's start off in your easy seated pose, just crossing your legs in front of each other, sitting up nice and tall as much as you can. So if you need to sit on top of a block or on top of a pillow, go ahead. And then just go ahead and rest your hands on top of your knees, palms facing up if you need a little bit more lifting energy, and then palms facing down if you need a little bit more rooting energy. And then if you haven't done so yet, just go ahead and close your eyes and allow yourselves to get settled in your space for today. As you begin to settle in, notice how you are breathing. If you're feeling a little bit under the weather, just like me, maybe the breath gets stuck at some point. Or maybe for today, your breath is flowing a lot better than normal. Or maybe your breath is just the same as any other day. And wherever you are in that spectrum, I invite you to just connect with your breaths. No judgments, no criticisms, just a sense of awareness of where we are for today. Knowing that each day is going to be a different experience. Knowing that each time we come into our mats, we get to know ourselves just a little bit more. So for today, sit with your breaths. Get to know yourselves just a little bit more. and embrace whatever you discover. Last 5 big breaths. Synchronizing our breathing, take a big exhalation, empty out the lungs. Inhale, exhale 1, breathing in, breathing out 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, and exhale 5. Blink your eyes open and lower your arms at a low V by your sides. On an in-breath, go ahead and sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, lower your arms down alongside your bodies. We go again, inhale, sweep your arms up, lengthen hips all the way to your fingers. Exhale, lower your arms down. 3 more just like that. Inhale, connect with your breaths. Exhale, move with control. Inhale, lengthen your arms up. And exhale, lower your arms down. Watch out. Inhale your arms up. And then as you exhale, place your hands onto your shoulders. And we're going to do something that I call washing machine pose. But you're going to draw circles with your elbows. And just notice the mobility that you are creating on your shoulders. And then just go the opposite way, whichever direction you have it gone to. And again, just notice how this feels on your shoulders. Alrighty. On an in-breath, circle your arms upwards. And then interlace your fingers. Exhale, bring your hands behind your head. Seated cat and cow. Let me just turn to a profile. On an in-breath, tilt your chin up and let your elbows open out to the side as you puff your heart to the sky. Exhale, let your elbows clip in, bow your head down, and round your spine. We go again. Inhale, open your elbows out, expand to your chest, head up. And then exhale, clip your elbows in, bow your head down. 3 more repetitions. Inhale, up and open out. Exhale, clip in and round your spine. 1 last, 2 more. Inhale, lift your chin up, open your elbows out. And then exhale, clip your elbows in, bow your head down. 1 last, inhale. And exhale. On an in-breath, lift the torso upright and extend your arms up to the sky. Exhale, take a side stretch to the right. Reach your left arm up and over. And we're gonna stay here for a couple of breaths. So feel free to go down as much as you want. Maybe crawl your right hand and maybe bend your elbow, allowing yourself to get deeper into that side stretch. Now maintaining your side bend, place your left hand onto the back of your head once again. And then spiral your chest, lean your left rib back, and allow your chest to face up to the sky. Inhale and exhale. On an in-breath, lift back up to the center, reaching your arms up to the sky. Exhale, take it down to the left. Right arm reaches up and over, and find that side stretch on the other side. And again, allow yourself to experience that side stretch. You can walk your left hand further, maybe bend your left elbow. Now maintaining that side bend, place your right hand onto the back of your head. Spiral your chest and lean your right rib back. Allow your heart to face up to the sky. Alrighty. On an in-breath, lift back up to the center. Both arms go up. And then exhale. Please make your way to your tabletop position. Hands and knees down to the ground. Once you're in your table, please fidget around as much as you need. Maybe sway your hips, maybe move your shoulders. I personally like drawing like a letter S with my spine, just to bring out any tension and tightness on the back. Now from here, stabilize at the center and let's do your regular cat and cow. On an in-breath, arch the back and raise up to the ceiling. Exhale, push away from the floor and down your back. One more with me. Inhale, on and then exhale, down your back. And you can keep doing your regular cat and cow, or take it into crazy cat and cow with me. So lean back first into your modified child's. And then on an in-breath, slither your heart forwards. Tilt your chin up as you arch your back. And then exhale, round your spine, and then lean back again into your child's. Inhale, slither your heart forward. Arch your spine as you look up. And then exhale, push, and round your back into your child's. Please do 3 more on your own. So again, you can do your regular cat and cow or your crazy cat and cow, depending on how your spine feels for today, depending on what mobility works best for you. And maybe if you're doing your crazy cat and cow, it feels awkward for the first couple of repetitions. That's normal. We rarely do this variation, so just allow yourself to explore that movement that works best. After your third round, I will leave you in your tabletop position. Hands and knees down to the floor. On an in-breath, extend your right leg to the back. Lift your foot away from the floor. Exhale, right knee towards your right elbow. And then land your foot outside your feet. Set up for your lizard stretch, so you can move your left knee a few inches back. You can stay up on your hands or lower down onto your elbows, on top of a block or down on the mat. And just go ahead and settle into your lizard position. We're gonna add some movements with your head, okay? So on an in-breath, tilt your chin up like you're doing your cat and cow. And then as you exhale, look down to your back. We go again. Inhale, tilt your chin up, gazing up to the ceiling. And then exhale, look down towards your legs. 3 more just like that. Inhale, arch and gaze up. Exhale, round and look down. Inhale, arch and gaze up. Exhale, round and look down. One last inhale. And exhale. Neutralize your head. Neutralize your neck so that it's in line with your spine. And just take your last breath in your lizard. Inhale. And exhale. Slide your right leg back and make your way to tabletop position. Hands and knees back down to the floor. Other side, extend your left leg to the back. Lift your foot, take clearance. Inhale. Exhale, left knee to left elbow and then land your foot outside your hand. And move your right knee a few inches back so that you feel that space on your hips and your groin. You can again stay up on your hands or lower down onto your elbows, on top of a block or down on the mat. Alrighty, this time we're going to do some turns with the head. So look over your right shoulder and then look over your left shoulder. Do it nice and slow. Turn to the right just so that you don't snap any pain in your neck, and then turn to the left and instead you let yourselves explore the mobility of your neck. 3 more. Look over to the right again, nice and slow, no need to rush, and then turn to the left. Look over your right shoulder. Look over your left shoulder. One last. Look over your right. And then look over to the left. And again, just for a breath, move back to the center. Inhale here. And then exhale. Please slide back to tabletop position. Hands and knees back down to the floor. Now before we move on, please set up for your child. Open your knees wide, big toes touch, sit on your heels. Crawl your hands forwards and melt your chest, forehead down to the ground. And as you settle into your child's pose, maybe start to build your intention in mind. If you are willing, dedicate your practice to those that you feel might need a little bit of healing energy for today. Could be yourself, could be dedicated to me, could be someone that is recovering from your family or your friends that you just feel might need that healing energy for today. With that intention in mind, take 3 more breaths. Breathing in. Breathing out 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Last one. Inhale. And exhale 3. On an in-breath, roll yourselves up into tabletop position. And please make your way to your downward facing dog. Curl your toes and lift your hips up to the sky. First downward facing dog for the day, you guys. So if there's any fidgeting that you need to get out of the way with, please feel free to do this. Maybe pedal out your knees, maybe sway your hips, maybe move your shoulders, maybe move your head. Another great option that I personally like doing is drifting forwards and back to plank and down dog. And just see how that feels. And then for your last breath, maybe stabilize in down dog. Inhale. And exhale. Walk your feet forwards, taking as many steps as you need. And as you arrive at the front, take a forward fold of your choice once again.
You can stay dynamic by pedaling out the legs, swaying your hips, or you can stabilize in your pose and just let yourselves dangle down into a fold. It feels good. Micro bend through your knees as well so that you can lengthen a little bit more through your spine. With soft knees, slowly roll yourselves up bone by bone. And then once you're upright, just go ahead and circle your arms all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, lower your arms down alongside your bodies. So just check that your feet is hips width apart. Just check that your feet is hips width apart. And then from here, we're gonna take our modified chair pose. So you're gonna bend through your knees and sink your hips down and back. Once you have your hips down and back, sweep your arms behind you and interlace your fingers. Now puff up your chest. So imagine like your heart is being pulled forwards and down, or forwards and up rather. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, slowly, 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 dive down to your legs. Extend your knees as much as you can and move your arms away from your buttocks. Okay, so we're going again. Bend your knees once again, coming up into that modified chair. Heart lifts forwards and up as your knuckles pull back. And then exhale, dive down. Extend the knees and move your arms away from your butt. We're gonna do 3 more, just like that. So on an in-breath, bend your knees, lift your heart, pull your knuckles back. Exhale, forward fold, dive down, move your arms as far away from your bum. Inhale, bend knees, lift your chest, look forwards. Exhale, slow forward fold, diving down to your legs. Ooh. One last inhale, such a yummy stretch for your shoulders, your spine, your hamstrings. And exhale, settle into that fold and just hold for a bit. So again, you can stay static in your pose, or you can move around, swaying your hips, moving your arms, moving your head, whatever helps you get a little bit more ease into this pose. With soft knees, begin to roll yourselves up bone by bone. And then circle your arms all the way up to the sky. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, hands onto your waist. And you're going to open out to the long end of your mat. Alrighty. So remember our washing machine pose. On an in-breath, reach your arms up to the sky. And then exhale, place your hands onto your shoulders. And then you're going to rotate from your shoulder joint, drawing circles with your elbows. For my yoga teacher friends who's here, let me know if you know the name of this pose. I just keep calling it washing machine. And then just go the other way to mobilize your shoulders. Alrighty. Stabilize at the center, and then on an in-breath, reach your arms up once again. And bend your right elbow, and then pull that right elbow back behind your head. Nice. And once you have that right elbow behind you, start to tip over to the left. And just notice that stretch from your right foot all the way up to your arms. And just notice if you're rounding your spine or overarching your back. Try to stabilize yourselves at the center so that the stretch is more of a lateral lean for your spine. Alrighty. Stay in your stretch. Just let your left arm dangle down to your leg and your right arm extend up and over. Inhale here. And then exhale, slowly release. Lift the torso all the way upright. Other side. On an in-breath, reach your arms up. And then this time, you're bending your left elbow and you're pulling it behind your head. Once you have it there, go ahead and add that lateral lean. So again, tip over to the right, making sure that you're not hunching your spine, making sure you're not overarching your back, and instead, again, prioritizing the lean to the side. Alrighty. Now from here, stay, and just let your right arm dangle down to your leg, and your left arm to reach up, 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 and over your head. Nice. Alrighty, inhale. And then exhale, slowly release and roll the torso upright. We're gonna set up for pyramid pose on your right leg. So go ahead and turn and pivot to your right, adjusting your left foot a few inches forwards so that your feet are about 3 feet away from each other. Now you're gonna lean your torso forward towards your right leg. And if you need your blocks, you can set them alongside your foot. Or just place your hands down onto the floor with your right knee slightly bent or extended. Now we're gonna take an extra breath. So on an in breath, look forwards and lengthen your spine. And then exhale, bow down towards that right knee. So you want to feel that stretch on your right hamstring. So as much as possible, straighten the leg and pull your right hip back, push your left hip forwards. Alrighty. Slightly lift your head up. And if you are down on the floor, I suggest coming up onto your finger pads so that you can flex your right ankle and let your toes lift off the floor. And imagine like you're waving to someone with your right foot. So you're just gonna let your foot move right and left, right and left. My mic keeps falling. Alrighty, stabilize your stance. So lower your right foot down, push away from the floor, and roll the torso all the way upright. So we're gonna go for the other side. Turn and pivot all the way to the left. If you need to bring your blocks with you, now would be the best time to transfer them to the side. And if you feel like your stance is too wide, now would be the best time to adjust your right foot a few inches forwards. When you're ready, hinge forwards and bow down towards your left leg. And again, your hands can be on the floor or on top of your blocks. Inhale to create space and exhale to fold when you're ready. And kind of go off on how you feel, right? So if you feel like you want to micro-bend those knees, if you feel like you need to come up onto your finger pads, please do not hesitate to do so. Alrighty, and then for this next one, inhale, look forwards. If you're down on the floor, again, I suggest you come up onto your finger pads, just so that you can flex your left ankle, so your toes will be directed to the sky. And then you can wave that foot, like you're waving to someone in front of you. Alright, flatten your foot. Push away from the floor and then roll your torso all the way upright. And then turn to the long end of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale your arms up. And then exhale, take a forward fold. You can release your hands down on the floor or on top of your blocks. You can again micro-bend your knees if that makes more sense. Tuck your chin in so that you can line up your head with your spine. Alrighty. Yogic Squat. Slightly lift your head up so that you can adjust your feet narrower. Still a few inches wider than your hips. Bend your knees and sit deeply into a squatted position. But I invite you to make this into a dynamic squat. So with your hands down onto the floor, just let yourself sway right and left, right and left. And as you do so, your toes and your heels kind of lift off the floor and you let your body settle into your squatted shape. Now start to stabilize at the center. Maybe your feet are flat, maybe they are not. You can keep your hands down in front of you, or if you're stable enough, pray your hands to your hearts. And then see if you can push your thighs out using your elbows and allow yourselves to expand a little bit more to your heart. Nice, you guys. Inhale and exhale. Reach behind you so that you can sit down onto the mat. And then if you are facing still the long end of your space, go ahead and face the short end of your mat. Have your legs extended, feet together, ankles flex. Hands just alongside your hips, lengthen the spine, and then tuck your chin in. This is your Dandasana or your staff pose. Might feel like nothing of a position, but this is actually a great pose to just observe how you are breathing, okay? So look down at your chest, look down at your belly, and reconnect with your breaths. Observe once again if your breaths are getting stuck, if your breaths are freely flowing, or if your breaths are just the same. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Roll the torso upright and bend your right knee. Step your right foot outside your left thigh. Once you knees with your left arm, and then place your right hand behind you, look over your right shoulder. Right? You can stay here or hook your elbow against your knee, pushing your arm and your leg to create more traction for you to deepen your twists. And I don't know with you, but after the holidays, twists are like the best poses ever in the world. There's a lot of things happening for me whenever I come into my twists. You'll feel that compression in your abdominal area. It will improve your digestive functions. You're feeling that nice release in your spine, wherein we hold up a lot of the stress from the holidays. Anong petsa na yun, no? Hindi pa rin naka-recover sa holidays. Take one more breath. Inhale and exhale. Now slowly unwind from your twist, but keep your legs, okay? Keep your legs. Don't change your legs just yet. You're just gonna let your right foot slide out to the side. Let me just turn to a profile so that your right knee is stacking on top of the left. Your right knee is stacking on top of the left. And then from that position, inhale to lengthen the spine. And then exhale, lean forwards. Okay? Now notice that as you lean forwards, there's pressure already against your left leg. And that's where we want to feel the stretch, on the back of your left thigh. So depending on your mobility, your flexibility, some of you might be able to go deeper and grab that foot. Myself for today is just up on the finger pads. Some of you might be a little bit more upright, and that's fine. The hamstring is a large muscle that gets tight because we use it all the time. So just hinge forward to a degree that feels good. Or you might be feeling it somewhere else. I'm also feeling it on my spine. Alrighty. Roll your torso upright. And you're going to bend your left knee as well, bringing your heel towards your right bum. Bend your left knee and bring your heel towards your right bum. So your knees will be stacked on top of each other like so. Now, if there's pain, cross right leg in front of the left and find your easy seated pose. Alrighty. Now for your arms, on an in-breath, reach your arms up. Bend your left elbow And then pull your elbow behind your head. Okay, so this is already the same stretch that we did a while ago. But we're going to go for the full expression. So you can stay here or let your right arm reach behind you and aim to interlock with the other set of fingers. If it's not happening, grab a hold of your shirt, grab a hold of your hair, or if you have a strap nearby, grab a hold of your strap so that you can create that grip that you can sustain. I'm grabbing a hold of the strap of my shirt for today. And once you have your grip, inhale to lengthen, and then exhale to fold. And it will make all of the spaces that you are stretching out more intense. You'll feel it in your shoulders, you'll feel it in your hips, you'll feel it in your spine. On an in-breath, roll the torso upright. And then extend your arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, untangle your arms, untangle your legs, and set up for your reverse tabletop, okay? So have your feet hips width apart in front of you. And then place your hands down onto the floor at your back, shoulders width apart as well. Now, maybe for today, you just puff up your chest, and that feels good already for your heart, your front body. Or, full expression, lift your hips up, tilt your head back. Inhale here, and then exhale slowly, lower your hips back down to the floor. Alrighty. Back to your Dandasana, staff pose or observer's pose. Extend your legs forwards in front of you, hands alongside your waist. Tuck your chin in and just observe your breaths. Seated spinal twist. Lift the torso upright. And then this time, bend your left knee and land your foot outside your right thigh. Let me just turn to a profile. Once you have your legs situated, hug your knees with your right arm and then place your left hand behind you. Look over your left shoulder and see how that feels for your spine. Now the others went deeper and hook the elbows against the knee. So if that feels good, go ahead. Oh my gosh, again, I've been enjoying those twists. I hope you are too. Look forwards, and then unwind from your twist. We're gonna do that modified forward fold. So let your foot slide out to the side so that your left knee is on top of your right leg. Keep flexing your right ankle to protect your bottom knee joint. Inhale to lengthen. And then as you exhale, hinge forwards. Lean forwards. And you don't have to go all the way down. Again, we are all built differently. Maybe for today you want to stay upright. Maybe for today you go deeper. Some of you who are more open might be able to grab the foot, but that's not the goal. Remember, the goal is to be mindful of how you feel for today. Go Mukasana. Lift the torso upright. And you're going to bend your right knee as well, bringing your heel towards your left bum. So bend your knee and slide your heel towards your left bum. So your thighs will be stacked on top of each other like so. Any pain is not worth it. Cross left shin in front of the right. When you're ready, your arms go up. And it's going to be your right elbow that goes bent. And you're going to pull that elbow behind your head. Some of you opted to stay here, others went for the bind. So you can reach your left hand behind you and aim to interlace with the other set of fingers. Inhale, and then exhale to fold. So hinge forwards to a degree that again only feels good for you. It's gonna make this pose a lot more intense. I'm feeling it a lot on my shoulders just by adding that fold. Some of you might be feeling it more on the hips, some of you might be feeling it more on the back. Wherever you are, connect with your breaths. Long deep breaths in and long deep breaths out. On an in-breath, lift the torso all the way upright. Extend your arms up to the sky. Ooh. And then exhale, untangle your legs, untangle your arms, and set up for another round of your reverse tabletop. So land your feet hips width apart in front of you, hands, shoulders width apart behind you. And you can again just puff up your chest or lift your hips away from the floor. Inhale, and then exhale, slowly lower your hips back down to the floor. Cross at your shins, and please make your way to your downward facing dog, your inverted V position with the body. Once you are in your downward facing dog, take a moment to just connect with your breaths and observe how you feel. Inhale and exhale. Preparing for some back bends. Pull yourselves forwards into plank. Inhale. And then exhale, go all the way down to the floor. Release yourselves all the way down to the mat. Sphinx pose. Slide your forearms forwards. Line up your elbows underneath your shoulders, puff up your hearts. All right, so this is a very gentle back bend that we can let ourselves set up into. But if you want to intensify a little bit more here, you can push with your palms and hover your elbows into your seal pose, playing around with the positioning of your hands. If you want to intensify the back bend, you can walk your hands back and get more lift with your heart. And then wherever you are, tuck your chin into your chest. Half circle with your head, right ear towards your right shoulder. And then left ear towards your left shoulder. And then you're going to draw a couple more half circles with your head. And just notice how this feels on the side of your neck. I'm feeling a nice pull also on the back of my neck. Alrighty, stabilize at the center. Tilt your chin up just for a breath. Inhale. And then exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly lower back down into your Sphinx. We'll all meet in your Sphinx position. We're going to do one more stretch here. It's your Scorpion Reaches, which is one of my favorite stretches as well. So you're going to bend your right knee. And then let that foot cross over to the left. Okay? So your right arm can lift off the floor. You can move your right hand. And your right foot can reach as far back as you want, okay? So it's a combination of a twist and a back bend. So I want you to explore where you want to take this stretch. You might hear some creaks and cracks with your body. So again, just be mindful of how you come into this stretch. If you've done like thigh massages, they normally do this to you. So we're gonna do this for today with our own mind as our guide. Alrighty. Slowly, slowly move back to the center. Maybe settle back into your sphinx first. Inhale. And then exhale, bend your left knee. And then you're gonna let it cross over to the right. And again, your body is not stuck there. So you can move your left hand. You can reach that foot as far as you want. Just making sure you're not gonna hit anything behind you. My singing bowls are behind me. And monitor how far you can go, okay? So you might hear those creaks and cracks, but again, hopefully it's something that you were able to get into because you were mindful in your transition. Oh. And then slowly, 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 slowly roll yourselves back down onto the mat. Take one more breath in Sphinx. Inhale. And then exhale, flip over onto your back body. Lie down on your back. Once you are lying down on the floor, we are setting up for your Supta Badakanasana, supine butterfly. Let the bottoms of your feet touch and your knees fall out to the side. Won't be too strict with alignment here, so play around with the distance of your feet from your groin. Further will lessen the load on your hips. Closer will intensify the hip stretch. I suggest as well lifting your hips a few inches off the floor, pointing your tail towards your feet, and then lowering your bum back down to the mat so that you lessen the overarching of your spine. You can also use your blocks underneath your thighs if you feel like you need a little bit more support. And then for your arms, you can have them on top of your bellies, out to the sides, or reaching over your head. And then just close your eyes and let your body settle into this pose. Let your breath lengthen. Allow your heart rate to slow down. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Bring your arms alongside your bodies. And then use your hands to guide your knees to point upwards. We're setting up for our Viparita Karani. I'm gonna give out the option of sliding a block underneath your tail or your sacrum if you have them there. Otherwise, you can just stay lying flat on the floor. Once you have your seat situated, lift your feet away from the floor and then extend your legs up to the sky, creating a letter L shape with your torso and your legs. You can keep your hands flat to the ground, or if you're having a hard time keeping the legs up, you can support your thighs with your hands. And then just look up at your feet and begin to point and flex your feet. And then just begin to draw circles with your ankles. And just go the other way. My aunt and I went hiking just the other day, and I just realized now that my ankles are a little bit sore. Oh no. Alrighty, stabilize back at the center. And then you're gonna bend your knees and extend. Okay, do this a couple more times. At least my knees are okay. Alrighty. Now finish off your last one, and then you're gonna keep your knees bent. And you're gonna cross your right thigh over the left. Cross your right thigh over the left. So even if you are still on top of your blocks, you can do this twist. So lower your knees down to the left, and then open your right arm out to the side. Look over your right shoulder. But if that block is bothering you, you can remove the block from underneath you and just do your regular twist on the floor. Alrighty. And then move back to the center. Stabilize your seat. Back down to your mat or your block. And then go again for your Viparita Karani. So extend your legs up to the sky. And then point and flex with your feet. Point and flex with your feet. And then circles with your ankles. And this is a great thing about our yoga practice, right? Little movements that allows us to become mindful of even the smallest parts of our bodies. Mindful and aware. And then just go the other way, whichever direction you have it done. And these are like parts of our bodies that we use all the time, but we rarely give some love. So it's nice to just kind of give them some attention for the day. And then go down to the knees. So bend and extend the legs. And then moving down to the hips, rebend the knees and cross your left thigh over the right. And you're going to take your spinal twist with or without your blocks. So depending on your preference, like I've found acceptance with the blocks underneath me already, and I'm going to keep them there. But again, if they're bothering you, you can set them to the side and just do your regular twists on the floor. If you haven't done so yet, open your left arm out and look over your left shoulder. Don't worry if you're kind of doing a different pose. Majority of you have like the cameras a little bit higher and I can't see everybody's form. More or less your body came into a position that you feel good in. So let your body breathe, shape into that. And then slowly move back to the center. And take one last Viparita Karani, legs up to the sky. Inhale and exhale. Rebend the knees and lower your feet down to the floor. If you have blocks underneath you, just go ahead and set them to the side. Modified constructive rest. Let your knees buckle in or your knees kiss each other and your feet opens as wide as your mat. So your knees are still bent. Knees together, feet apart. And then you're going to slowly take your windshield wiper knees, lowering your legs left and right, left and right. And as you do so, kind of let your hips and your low back go along for the ride. So if your hips hover off the floor, let it happen. If your bum floats off the ground, let it happen. And if your body is kind of coming into a twisted orientation, let it happen. And last stretch for the day is our happy baby pose. As you come into your happy baby, find joy in it, okay? So if you want to grab your feet, your big toes, or the backs of your thighs, if you want to stay still, if you want to rock, if you want to bend and extend the legs, go ahead. So again, your personal joy for this position. Oh my gosh. Inhale. And then as you exhale, set up for your Shavasana. Lower your arms, lower your legs down to the floor. Open them out as wide as you want, as wide as you need. If you are like me, having a hard time breathing lying down, you can also opt to take your Shavasana seated like so. Or if you'd rather lie down on your side, or if you'd prefer to use your blocks for support in your Shavasana, go ahead. We go back to our theme of being mindful in our practice, of recognizing what feels good and what doesn't feel right, of being aware of what our body needs for today, and embracing whatever exploration and option we take in our practice. And once you've settled in, give yourselves full permission to relax with the knowledge that for today, you were able to connect not only physically with yourselves, but mentally and emotionally as well. Rest with the knowledge that you were able to give yourselves this time to heal. And when we take care of ourselves, we are able to take care of others as well a little bit better. Rest and relax. Rest and relax. Rest and relax. take a moment to notice any changes that you are feeling. Once you feel like you are ready to introduce movement back into your bodies, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, roll your wrists, roll your ankles, and gently move your head from side to side. Morning stretch. Reach your arms over your head. For those lying down, start to transition into your fetal pose, bending your knees and rolling over towards one side of your body. And please make your way up and join us in a seated position with the eyes remaining closed and the prayer hands in front of the chest. We take a moment to appreciate this healing energy that we were able to gain through our practice for today. Hopefully, gaining a little bit of strength, gaining a little bit of space, gaining a little bit of peace. Harnessing all of these benefits that we have gained for today. And for all of these, we bow down in gratitude. Enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you, guys.